Hi all, Ms. Z here, and today we're going to talk about reflections across the x and the y axis. So here we have our standard and our essential statement, which says that I can reflect an image across the x and y axis. So first we have our definition. What is a reflection? Well, a reflection is a transformation that flips a figure across a line. That line is the line of reflection. It's kind of like when you look at the mirror, you just see yourself. Okay, so we're going to be creating or drawing a mirror image of our pre-image. Okay, so here I'm going to give you the rules or the algebraic representation of what a reflection does to your ordered pair. So, for example, if you're reflecting over the x-axis, your ordered pair x comma y goes to x comma negative y. The x stays the same, but the y changes signs. The negative y does not mean make your number negative, and if it's already negative, let's just keep it. No, that's not what that means. That means you change the sign to the opposite sign. So if your number is positive, you make it negative, but if it's negative, you make it positive. And for over the y-axis, your ordered pair x comma y goes to negative x comma y. So now the x changes the sign, but the y stays the same. So what does that mean when we actually do a problem? So let's go ahead and draw a coordinate plane. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that up, give you, oops, my ruler fell. Give you just 1 second to go ahead and write that down. Okay, so here we have triangle ABC, and we're going to reflect triangle ABC across the y-axis. So what I should probably have done is given you the points of ABC. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. So point A is at 3, 1. Point B is at 1, 2. And point C is at 4, 4. This will actually help you plot your triangle a lot quicker so that you don't have to look to see what I'm doing. When you guys are drawing your coordinate plane, please be as precise as you can. This is super important for transformations. Okay, now we're reflecting across the y-axis, which means that we're going to take our image right here and it's going to be reflected across this line, the line of reflection, which is the y-axis. Okay, this is the x and this is the y. So we're going to be flipping our pre-image across the y, and there's actually an easy way to do this. You just count how far from the line of reflection your points are, and that's how far they'll be on the other side. So for example, here's our line of reflection. Point B is only 1 unit away. So I just count 1 unit away over here, and that's B prime. Point A is 1, 2, 3 units away. So I go 1, 2, 3 to this side, and that's A prime. And point C is 1, 2, 3, 4 units away. So I go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4 and plot point C prime. And then I'm gonna go ahead and connect my dots. Now, okay, I mean, you're like, okay, Ms. Z, well, if all we're doing is counting units, well, that's super easy. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult, but let's go ahead and use the rule just to double check to see if we have our points written down or plotted correctly. Just by looking at our picture, it does look like a reflection. That's what it should look like. So let's use our rules. So our point A, 3, 1, if we're using our rule over here for over the y-axis, so you change the sign of the x, but you keep the y. So our positive 3 will become negative 3, and we keep the y. So is point A prime at negative 3, 1? Why, yes, it is. And so B prime changes to negative 1, 2. Is B prime at negative 1, 2? Why, yes, it is. And C prime changes to negative 4, 4. Is C prime at negative 4, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why, yes, it is. And that is how you do it. Okay. Now, I want you to remember that each point and its image are the same distance from the line of reflection. So let's go ahead and actually reflect triangle ABC prime across the x-axis this time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take our ABC prime and reflect it across the x-axis. So it's going to be flipped right over here into quadrant 3. Okay, so because we're taking a prime triangle and we're transforming it again, it is now A double prime, okay, B double prime, and C double prime. Let's go ahead and use the rule to find our new points. So when we're reflecting over the x-axis, our x stays the same, but the sign on the y changes. So we have negative 3, negative 1. We have negative 1, negative 2. And C prime is negative 4, negative 4. Okay, notice how I left the sign on the x alone, but I changed the sign on the y. So now let's go ahead and plot these points. So negative 3, negative 1, that's A double prime. Negative 1, negative 2, that's B double prime. And negative 4 right here is C double prime. And then I'm going to go ahead and connect my dots. And again, if you notice, that is a reflection across the x-axis. So if it's easier for you to count your units, you can really only do that when you're reflecting across the x and the y-axis. But you can go ahead and do that. It is definitely better if you use the rule to find your reflected image. If you have any questions about this, go ahead and send me a message on here or on Google Classroom, and I will try to answer them as best as I can. Thank you.